YouTube Nation, Maven TV, aka Me TV, aka the truth is going to come out today. And you should know by now, I'm the only person on YouTube who's going to let you know how it is without any sugarcoating. So if you get mad at my opinions on things, guess what? Too bad. I don't care. You have to understand that after what has happened, all right, because I wasn't going to do this video until I saw the press conference not too long ago, which was sickening. It was disgusting by the media. And we're going to talk about this because on Sunday, when we found out that Andy Reid's son, Garrett, had died, all right, I had said to you guys what on Twitter, because I had a lot of, questions about it on Twitter, on Facebook. You guys sent me messages on YouTube about it. And I said, I'm withholding my judgment because I don't know exactly what happened yet. We don't know the cause of death. You get what I'm saying? So I didn't want to say anything that was wrong because we didn't know, or at least I didn't know at the time. You know what I mean? So now that we know that the kid overdosed, all right, do I feel bad for Garrett Reid? No, I don't. But for him, no. Because you know what? I've seen this time and time again in bad neighborhoods. Time and time again, I've known people who have overdosed and died because of their demons or drugs or whatever you want to call it, all right? I understand. So here's the thing now. When a person, because the media came out and said, oh, it was so wrong, we feel bad for Andy, and you should feel bad for Andy to an extent, and I'm going to explain. So I got a lot of opinions on this today, okay? But also understand, this is what the media is doing. Garrett Reid died, and it's, anybody who's had a family member who, has had these demons, you know how hard it is. But when a person in a bad neighborhood dies, you don't care. The first reaction is, that's good. That's fine. Good riddance. He was street trash anyway. So why is it okay for a famous coach's son to die and turn him, because what you've done now is turn him into a martyr. That's what you've done for at least the time being. That's what you did. Okay? You understand, media? But yet, when someone else dies, you don't give a shit. You call them a bunch of names. I don't understand this. Now look, I understand that there's not going to be no fairness when it comes to certain areas. But this is what I mean when I said earlier this week about people in bad neighborhoods. You have to prove your worth. You may not like to hear that, but that's what you have to do, because the rest of these people in this world don't give a damn about you, all right? Especially the media. And the media should be ashamed of themselves for what they've done. Because I put it like this. If that was your family or your friends, you want to keep that private, all right? You would. Understand, Andy just put his son in the ground yesterday, and already you're throwing, cameras in his face and asking him a bunch of questions. He's taking gut shot after gut shot. All right? And I don't care how you feel about, the questions were fair or not. No, they shouldn't be asking these questions to begin with. When Andy came out in that, press conference, he came out and said, he stands before you, a humble man today. That's what he said. All right? He said, he thanked everyone for all their blessings and, and support. And, he almost looked like he was getting ready to cry because he stopped for a minute. You know what I mean? And, he said what he had to say on the issue. Once he made that opening statement, that should have been it. There should be no more talk about it, because I don't think it's hit Andy all the way yet, to be quite honest. All right? Like I say, he just put his son on the ground yesterday, and you're already asking him questions. And as soon as he said that, here you clowns from the media come. Here you come. All right? All you're doing is asking questions about Garrett Reid. There was 3 football-related questions, that entire media, the entire thing. And one was about, and it was also about his son related, Michael Vick, how he was close to, his son. You had, will the players rally around Andy now? And Andy said, no, I don't want them to rally around me. They should play football because that's what they're supposed to do. They should want to win. Same thing we said about Michael Vick. Michael Vick was like, yeah, he said he's going to dedicate the season to, his son, and he's going to try to win a Super Bowl for him. Look, you should be trying to do that anyway. And that's exactly what Andy was saying. And it's absolutely right of Andy to say that. And then they talked about, putting his initials on the back of their helmet or whatever, which, if that's what you want to do, fine. But let's get something straight here, people. Jared, whatever you want to call him, I call him Garrett Reid, had the same history, the same problems, all right, as any other person in a bad area. Why is it okay that we should treat him differently than anyone else? Also, I want to put it like this. People who don't even have that many chances. Garrett Reid, he's had tons of chances, all right? And he even had to, at one point, put him on the sidelines with him to make sure he stayed out of trouble, all right? Other people don't get those type of chances. No. But we're just supposed to accept that, all right? Andy did what he had to do as a father, meaning he tried to keep his kids out of trouble. No matter how much trouble he got into, he still tried. He loved them unconditionally. However, this is the only bad thing I will say today of Andy Reid, because you guys know how I feel about him as a coach already. It does not matter. This is not about football, okay? Andy Reid, I don't want to say he's a bad dad, all right? But to see how he tried to guide his kids and they still went the wrong path. I understand that you can't control everyone, but he should have been more, and I will say this, a more moral father figure, all right, to make sure they don't take that path. And I say this only because if you see the way his kids have acted in the past, and then you look at that football team, this is what I mean about how, I mean, come on, it's the same thing. He doesn't have control of it. This is what I mean. But you know what? That's the only bad thing I'm going to say about Andy. Because as far as I'm concerned, you should be leaving Andy Reid alone, media. Don't sit here and tell me, have you guys seen Twitter? Have you guys seen Facebook and the news? And you have to be kidding me. Like I said, the guy just put his kid in the ground not too long ago, already on Twitter. If you didn't see what Andy Reid had to say, you can see it here. You can read it here. You can hear it here. You have to be kidding me. This is not a platform for you to try and draw ratings from. You're exploiting him so that you get bigger. That's garbage. And you should be ashamed of yourself, media, because you have no conscience at this point. Is that what you're willing to do just for a story, for a headline? And you know what? Some of you guys on YouTube who think you act like you're the media, this is a good reason why you shouldn't act like the media. Because as far as I'm concerned, this is a great example, all right, of how you should stay away from them. They cannot be trusted. They do not care about you. You understand that, right? They don't. If they cared, they would be going from funeral to funeral and talking to people. How did this person die? How did that person die? But you don't get that. No. You don't see them doing all these specials on people all of a sudden that overdosed on drugs. No, you don't see that either. See, this has become something that is it's just mind-boggling. You have to be kidding me. And there's so many people online that are like, well, you know, it's okay for the media to do it. No, it's not. It's not. It's called privacy. Let that family mourn or deal with it privately. Personally, it makes no sense that something like that would happen. But yet, the media thinks it's okay. It's not fair game. Because I guarantee you, media, I swear, man, if this was anybody you knew, you would not be acting this way. All right? We've seen time and time again guys from ESPN, they were either in affairs or they were abusing, you know, their wives or whatever, and then what would happen? They try to sweep it under the rug. It's garbage because you want to keep it private. But yet it's okay to exploit or use it. Did you see what happened in the Olympics when they were talking? Oh, the woman was raped and carrying on. Who cares? Why are you bringing up her story like that? Why are you just throwing her story out there like that? Her business. You should be focusing on sports. And you're trying to draw this drama for some reason. And it's not called for. Like I said, anything for a headline. And this goes down to the newspapers, the radio stations, TV, the internet. It does not matter. All right? I do not feel bad for Garrett Reid. I feel bad for Andy for what he is going through right now, because I can only imagine losing someone that close and then having to stand up and pretty much face the music. You have to be kidding me. He is back at practice to talk football, to coach football. You knew what he's going through. You know what he's going through. Let it go. Don't ask him any questions. Or are you trying to purposely ask him questions so that he breaks, so that you can get it on camera? Now, I'm telling you this, guys, right now, if the Eagles do well, and let's just say, I'm not saying they will, let's just say they go to the Super Bowl and win it. Do you know how quick the media is going to say, after all the trials and tribulations, you know, dealing with the death of his son, he's finally made it and he's won it for him. Do you understand this is what they're going to do? And that is sickening. I don't know why anyone else isn't disgusted. I just see comments of, I don't know how Andy can, you know, deal with it and things of that nature, but no one's taking shots at the media, except today. Anyways, I'm done.